You guys, it's the kid, 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 guys. Welcome to this beautiful Saturday open hangout, which is the place in which anybody out there can come in, pop in, and we could just, discuss and just talk about, all the goings on that is happening within the footballing world, man. And again, I always have to start out by saying, congrats to all of the nurses and the doctors out there, man. Doing a great job. And again, we say this to people that if you don't have to, stay at home, stay at home, stay at home. But shout out to all those nurses and the doctors out there doing their thing, man. So again, I think because this is going to be a lot about you guys putting in your questions and us answering your questions and so forth. But we do have a few topics, mainly Sancho, talking about Jadon Sancho, the player, really giving our thoughts and our critique of Jadon Sancho, where he should go, what he should be like, and so forth. And after that, we are going to talk about Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati has now seemed to be moving into Dortmund. What do we think his potential is? Do we think he can be that next best player? Let us critique and look at an Ansu Fati. But before we do that, as we do with all of this debate stuff and everything, I think we have to have a recap on the on the debate between myself and your boy Lazim. Now, let me just kick things off because I want to get guys' views just on Zad v Salah and just the debate itself. Now, because for me, I won the debates before we even debated. But I said, you know what? Let's just do this for the streets. Let's do this for fun because I said I want to keep guys entertained. So I did this purely to entertain people because it is not a discussion. And I wanted just because, again, I thought Hazem, he put up a great fight. I have to give Hazem kudos that he tried his hardest. He put up a great fight. And look, Hazem is a very intelligent dude. Anybody who knows it is a very astute, intelligent dude, but he was fighting a losing battle. It was a fighting losing battle. And for me, hey, let me land. I'll give you guys a thing. Let me land. He was always fighting a losing battle. And for me, all I could do were just give those quotes from Zidane and Henry. And even when I gave those quotes, that's already ended the battle. So the battle was ended when I gave those quotes. So I just entertained it with regards to what he did for Lille, what he did for Chelsea, and so forth. And the points he made my opening points, which is that every point he made was arguing for the points of a great goal scorer, not a great player. Every point I made was arguing for the points of a great player overall. Not a great goal scorer, but a great player overall. So at the end of the day, my point at the beginning was proving that Hazard is the better footballer, better player, more versatile, more consistent, turns up in the bigger games. And Salah is purely a pure goal scorer. So, and that has always been the assessment because, again, like anyone knows that when you view them both, there isn't a conversation. So let me roll with LB there. So LB, firstly, thoughts on the debates and thoughts on who you think is better between Zad and Salah.
Well, I would say that Hazard won the debate, or you won the debate, HH, and you were able to present a really good case that Hazard has been a better player, and I reckon he has been amongst the top 5 group of players over the last few years, whereas Salah only had that one sort of breakthrough season in 2017-18 where Liverpool had obviously made the Champions League final, and unfortunately he wasn't able to play a part in that game due to that injury, which still people think that Ramos did injure Salah on purpose, but that's obviously another topic. And to be honest, I don't think Salah has done much since then. Obviously, he's been a goal scorer and he has contributed to Liverpool and helped them win last season's UCL, UEFA Champions League. Whereas Hazard has performed both for Chelsea and for Belgium for many years now. Obviously, Hazard's first World Cup was in 2014. That's when we sort of started to see him in the international scene. And in Russia 2018, that's when he sort of, I'd say, lit the world on fire on an international sort of level by bringing Belgium to the semi-finals. So I reckon, obviously both players are very good. But in my opinion, Hazard is a much better player.
Okay, cool. Okay, so before I come to our next bit, let me just hit the super chat. From No Name, he says, Fati over Dembele. Barcelona should sell Dembele ASAP. No Name, I'm going to respond to that afterwards because that is blasphemy. But we're going to get to Fati, but I want to put some respect on the Us's name because I think the Us is disrespected too much. So, okay, before I ask you, first of all, is McTominay better than Zidane? Is that your actual viewpoint, or are you trolling with that username?
Oh no, I'm just trolling.
Thank you. So, thoughts on the debate and thoughts of between Hazard and Salah, who's a better player?
Okay, for me personally, I think Hazard's a good player. I think Salah's a better player, but that doesn't move away from the fact Hazard is absolutely world class. He can be a world beat on his day. But the thing I have with the debate yesterday is you could have mentioned so many other stuff, but you kept iterating back to the technical ability, and that's where you lost the. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I would back you 100% in the debate, but the last one you got absolutely circumcised. I'm gonna be real with you. The last debate was just brutal. Every single time Hazard brought up something like he creates more chances than Hazard, so therefore he's a better chance creator or more assists. You just kept iterating back to how his technical ability, his dribbles, and how he completely does more in the game. He doesn't do more in the game for me. He does meaningless dribbles around the halfway line.
But I never learned on the technical ability thing. That's why I brought up the whole thing of
honestly, when you go
the
back
goals and
into the
assists.
comments, you'll see. No, I know what you mean. When you go back in the comments and you see the category where you mentioned, I don't think you've mentioned anything Hazard does better than Salah, except dribbling and ball control.
But then but when we talked about consistency and big games though, and versatility, that was the point I made.
You can't say big games though.
You
can't say big games. The World Cup happened 2 years ago.
What is it?
You can't say big game because the World Cup happened 2 years ago.
No. But the points I made was the big games Hazard has shown in have been bigger games than the games that Salah has represented in, i.e., World Cup semi, FA Cup final, Europa League final.
Okay, because
Salah has only been in one major final, which is called a penalty which was made by Sadio Mane. So,
yeah, absolutely. Can you really compare an FA Cup final, a Europa League final, to a CL semi-final?
But then I made the points of the CL semi-final. Who did he play against? Roma. And again, when you say
a team who knocked out Barca and beat Chelsea as well with Hazard in it, they literally beat Chelsea that season with Hazard in it. No. That Roma team that you go on about literally beat Hazard.
But it's no. But then, if we're comparing Roma to France, which is the far better team, which is the far bigger game, a World Cup semi or a CL semi, a World Cup semi. But but it's your point.
Hazard balled in that semi. But wait, Hazard balled in that semi, but produced no end product. This is the problem you have with Hazard. He can do aesthetically pleasing things all he wants.
No. That World Cup semi was huge. What Zad did there? No, that's like one of the greatest individual performances of all time. Easily.
It was absolutely.
It was amazing. You know, it was amazing.
When I watched that semi-final, I was thinking, well, Hazard, he could be on levels of Ballon d'Or with that performance. But then, what did he do at the end of the 90 minutes? No one looked after 90 minutes to see how many dribbles Hazard completed or who he took or how many man he took on. They looked at a point. He scored no goals. He had no goal contribution.
Look, the fact that there are several videos of what Hazard did, it's one of the greatest individual performances in the World Cup. More than what Messi and Cristiano have done. Those two bombs.
The thing that people compare Cristiano and Messi to, Messi trumps Cristiano in technical ability any day of the week.
But they're both World Cup flops.
No, but they're both World Cup flops, fine and fair enough. But the thing is, you can't sit there and tell me Hazard turning up in a World Cup semi-final with no end product, eventually getting dumped out.
No. He did his job. He proved his point.
You
So
can't prove a point by taking on 3 man consistently
okay, look,
in a
my
game.
friend Joey. So just give us your final thing because we need to move on to all other guys, man. Just round off your points so we can move on to other people.
I'm just saying, you could have brought stuff like how he's been a PFA Player of the Year, a Young
I
Player of the
did.
Year, and 2 title-winning seasons.
I did.
But you didn't highlight that enough because I feel like you kept going back to the point of Hazard's ability, how aesthetically pleasing he is, how big game player is, all those stuff you could compete with Salah with. Salah could have a better argument. But if you mention the fact Hazard contributed to league titles more, you would have trumped him, in my opinion, because Salah hasn't contributed to a major league title.
Okay. All right. So let's so Mr. Hakuna Matata, man. Thoughts on the debates and thoughts of Hazard versus Salah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you, man. Can hear you, bro. Loud and
Yeah,
clear.
yeah. So, yeah, this is my first time here. Yeah.
Oh, welcome,
So,
welcome, man. Welcome to the crypt. Welcome to the crypt.
yeah, so yeah, I watched the debate yesterday and I thought it was a really good debate. The only one critique I would have of the debate is the better player is not necessarily better in all, like, you guys have 6 criterias, right? So, what was the problem for me was Salah is definitely the better goal scorer, but you were fighting a losing battle there. Okay, so as a result you were lagging behind in the debate. That was my one critic of the debate.
Okay.
Yeah, and coming to Hazard versus Salah, for me personally, Hazard is the better player because you need much more to stop Hazard when he's on form than you need of Salah. Salah is normally usually on the end of getting things, but Hazard can dribble past players. He can create chances. He's basically the orchestrator. So for me, I would, as an opposing manager, I would be much more scared of Hazard than I am of Salah. Yeah.
Which is the World Cup semi point that you bring in. If you're putting 4 guys on one player, that shows the kind of fear you have of that player. Same thing with Messi. Whenever Messi plays, you need to put
Yeah.
your 4 guys
Even
on,
Neymar.
on him.
Yeah, I agree. Even Neymar,
Oh yeah,
for me
same thing.
personally,
It's like
yeah.
you can't put one guy on. Let's say, whenever you are happy to put one guy on a player, that means you don't fear that player. But when 3 or 4 players on a single player, that shows how dangerous the player is because you said we'll leave all the other guys free. This guy must not because if this guy is a one-on-one, he's going to cause havoc. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. TBF, man, TBF, thoughts on the debates and Hazard versus Salah.
Um, okay, so with the debate, to be honest, for me, Hazard is like the most aesthetic kind of player. I mean, he's more visually pleasing, but dude, I thought that Hazam, like, he tried, I thought he won the debate, man. And I thought that, both of you, let me get from this point. Like, I thought that you going first was not a very great idea, if that makes sense. Like, obviously Hazam's always going to rack up a response to basically it's going to be more of a response to your claims, and it may feel like your claims are not the best ones to be put out there. But I think you massively underestimated I mean, what I'm getting at is I think you massively underestimated Hazard in shooting ability, or goals conversion rate kind of stuff, because Salah's best season, I think he scored around 44 goals or something, and I think it's like you in the 17-18 season where Eden Hazard, for the number of shots that he took versus the number of shots that Salah took, the conversion rate per 90 minutes is actually, Hazard is at a whopping 12.1% versus a 10.9% that is of Mohamed Salah's. And Eden Hazard isn't even a proper goal scorer, if that makes sense. So I think you could have covered that point, but I think you were trying to shadow Hazam's points using the whole technical ability argument, and also you could have highlighted on the aspect that Mohamed Salah has not been that relevant, or he has been only relevant since 2017, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I think you could have used certain arguments, but for me, I think Hazard outright won that, man.
Okay. Okay, but then just in response, I'll say again, when I brought up the consistency points, I said Hazard has literally been consistently a quality player since his Lille days up until now, winning a title for Lille and winning multiple titles for Chelsea. So he's been quality all the way through. And I said that in contrast to Salah, who has only truly been relevant on the world stage for Liverpool in only the last few years and hasn't led his teams to as many titles as Hazard has. And I made the point with the versatility of a player who has been supremely good on the left and as a cam shows how much he's a better player based on how he's excelled in two positions, where Salah has only excelled in that one position. So, Mr. Dr. Joe, thoughts on the debates and Zad versus Salah?
Well, I'd say Hazard is better technically as a footballer, but there's this thing I have with you, HH, where
what do you have with me? I'm a nice guy, man. I'm a nice guy, man.
Don't worry, I'm one of your biggest fans, but one of your biggest critics also. Nigerian also. I'm here in Eastern Europe, so
top, everyone is a critic of me, man. So what up?
yeah. I'm a massive fan, so yeah. Okay, so you usually twist. Let's say you move the debate in a direction with your own ideology to make it go the way you plan. For example, like when you say better, who's better? If we're not defining who's better technically, then efficiency should always trump better potential and technical attributes. Because, for example, just because I have a better control, better vision, and better dribbling, even goal scoring, but if I don't put it to effect on the pitch, it's useless. So efficiency scientifically should always come before attributes. So in that case, I'd say Salah might just might be better, but obviously I'd still say Hazard. Well, another thing is consistency should never be mentioned in the same sentence with Hazard.
No. But Dr. Joe, you make an interesting point, because if we now look at efficiency and we look at the numbers, Iniesta trumps Zidane. Messi trumps Maradona. Are you now going to tell me that Iniesta is a better football player than Zidane? Are you going to tell me that Messi is easily a better player than Maradona? So, see, the issue with this, I like these debates are just fun because I think it's good because I think they are entertaining and I want guys to be entertained. But what I try and get people to understand, though, is that from where I came from and where I grew up, way before the internet, there are things that the eye can see that can't be put down on numbers. There are things a player can do in a game that you can't put down in numbers. What Zidane does well can't be quantified. What Zidane does, why I think Zidane is the greatest player isn't based on the goals he has scored, isn't based on his assists, it's what I see on the pitch. As soon as it seems like, oh my God, that dude is on a separate level from everyone else. What he's doing, as a football fan, you just know it. It's like when you go in a park or something and you just see how a player plays, like, and this player there's some dude who goal hangs, scores 8 goals a game. He's not better than the dude who you know is running the entire game and is having most touches and where he is causing havoc over 90 minutes. So they're just things that you can't quantify. But then again, look, it is what it is. But round off your point, though.
Yeah, so I do agree with you. Like, I'm just giving, like, a twist and a separate twist. Like, yeah, so backspin. Hazard is better, but like, for example, during the argument, like your debates with Hazard, I personally would have gone for Hazard, but there's this thing where just having, like, you believe that Hazard was better, so you believe that just stating that he was better would make you win the argument. Like, you missed out the fact that that Liverpool have never won a title till now. So what's the point of all the goals that Salah scored? Even if they do have Van Dijk at the back, which means they have a good defense, why haven't they won if Salah is that good? You didn't mention how Salah's teammates like Van Dijk and Mane are both have chances of winning the Player of the Season, and they've also featured on the Ballon d'Or shortlist. And Salah did nothing when he came up against when he flopped at the AFCON with a good team.
But just, you know what's so crazy? All these points I made, because I made the points of like, Salah is in a team where we don't even know whether he's even the best player on his team. There's a debate whether it's him or Mane.
You did, but like you should have, like, for example, Van Dijk should have won the Ballon d'Or according to some people. I'd say those people are crazy, but still, like, you should, like, Van Dijk was some would say he was supposed to be the Ballon d'Or winner last year. Mane is going to be on the Ballon d'Or podium, all things being equal, this year. COVID-19 has other ideas, but still, like, those kind, like, you know, just little things to, and I'd say that season Salah had in 2018 is bar none the best season amongst them two. Like, it rivaled Ronaldo and Messi and just sheer efficiency and quality. Like, some of the mazy dribbles. I believe he even won the Puskas Award that year for goal. So yeah, Hazard is consistently and way the better dribbler, but in certain times that season, Salah looked like Messi dribbling. Like, it was ridiculous. I started to doubt my vision.
Joe, relax. Messi?
Like,
relax.
HH, apart from the argument, just go back and watch some of the goals.
Wait. Just run the points. We have to go to other guys.
So
just run
all in all, I believe Hazem got you because he had better stats, and stats always look much more believable. Like, we all have the eye test, but stats are always much more better in an argument. So Hazem did win, but I'd go for Hazard all day, every day.
Okay. From the other side, thank you for the super chats. Says Zad is a better player, I believe, while Salah is so much more effective. Again, goes to my points of like, Zad is the better player, Salah is the better goal scorer. So when you bring in his goal stats, it always look as if he's better. But Hazard, based on what he does on the pitch, will always be tier one, baby. Zad, I love you, man. Jamal, speak on it.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right. Yeah. Richard, how you can bring a guy in your channel and he disrespect you like that? I mean, it wasn't even a debate. You get battered because I'm actually battered you. But yeah, what I have to say on it is, I started to feel sorry for you yesterday, man. The reason when I started to feel sorry for you is when he was bringing up Salah goals and he scored daggers against Roma, dagger against Manchester City in the Champions League quarterfinal, dagger against Roma in the Champions League semi-finals. And when he was bringing up a goal against West Ham with a guy called Declan Rice and the goalie from the road called Luis Fabianski. That is when I started saying that it's a moment, you know. Hazard is really better than Salah in dribbling. That's all. And I think you're underrating Salah dribbles. Go and watch a video of Salah dribbling, and you will see it's not as far as you think it is. I mean, Hazard is a better dribbler, but it's not as far as you think it is. It's very close. But yeah, I feel Salah is a better player, goal scoring wise, consistency, and yeah, Hazard battered you, man. He battered you without any rule. Yeah.
Well, again, just to say it again, the points that Hazard made was proving that Salah is a better goal scorer, but he never made any points how he was a better player. No, that's also simple. Like we were saying. All right, Adaj.
Wait, before you go, could I say one more thing?
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, would you rate Salah as one of the best players in the world right now?
No.
That's one thing. No?
No.
Okay.
As you said, best player, not goal scorer player. When best player in the world, no.
Well, goal scorer then.
No, yeah, 100. He's easily one of the best goal scorers in the world. That's not even up for debate. But as a player, overall player, no, he's not even in the question. But he's easily one of the best goal scorers in the world, easily, 100%. All right.
Okay, cool.
All right. Adage 3. Adage 3. All right. San Maya.
HH, what's the question?
So basically, the question is, what did you think of the debates between me and Hanzem yesterday? And who do you think is the better player between Zad and Salah?
Okay, so I didn't watch the debate yet. I didn't listen to the debate yesterday. So can I just comment on the Salah versus Hazard thing?
Okay.
Okay, so in my opinion,
HH, I think there's like a big delay, so I'm gonna come back in like a couple minutes when I figure this out.
All right, cool, man. Okay, cool, man. Yeah. Come back in, man. All right, cool.
So in my opinion, Hazard is the better dribbler, but Salah is the more effective player. If I have to pick a player to win a game, I pick Salah. In my opinion, Hazard's end product isn't as good as Salah, and
It's trash.
if we're looking at the prime, Salah has been more consistent than Hazard, and Hazard never really had a season as good as Mohamed Salah's 17-18 season when he had 32 goals in the Premier League. But I do believe Eden Hazard is the better footballer. But if we're talking about effective player, I think I would trust Salah more.
And that would agree with you in that. So, because when you look at effectiveness based on really putting the ball in the net, oh my gosh, Salah all day, every day. But overall, of what he can contribute to your team, goal scoring, assisting, dribbling, technique, carrying the ball, being an influence, being a playmaker, it's Zad all day, every day. And to understand that, you have to watch and appreciate the game. This isn't American sports. It's football. And the beauty about football, they're just things that you need to understand watching rather than just looking on whoscored.com. Stodge. Going once, going twice, Stodge.
The whole last statement you said was BS. Just like your arguments. All right, let's start this. You got battered, lubricated, dragged, circumcised, etc. on your own channel by Hazard.
Wait,
I mean,
stop.
it was a humiliation.
Wait, aren't you Liverpool?
How do you let someone do this like you on your channel? I am. I mean, this was just an embarrassment, and it was just so embarrassing. Yeah, I mean, the World Cup point you made. This is when I realized that Hazard
No.
is
That was
one
my
heck
killer
of a
point.
loser.
That was my
No. This point is he's the biggest loser in football. I've never seen a player in life. I've never heard any.
Are you going to deny that World Cup?
I've never heard my granddad, my dad, etc. So wait. I have to speak. I've never heard my dad, my granddad, any uncles I have, relatives, etc., elders. I've never heard one single person mention a guy that lost in a World Cup semi-final, didn't contribute a goal or an assist, and then try to say it was amazing. It's the biggest. That's the highlight of your career. Do you know how he's an utter loser? His highlight of his career is losing to France and passing sideways. Wow, exactly. He's such a loser. Let me tell you something right now. Anyway, yeah, and you keep on disrespecting Salah. Salah has scored one of the greatest goals in the last 5 years. And people keep on disrespecting it, but everything has to be put into context. That goal he scored for Egypt was after a revolution happened, after they didn't qualify for the World Cup for 30 years, after the whole league was disbanded. Wait, after 74 fans were killed in the stadium. Let's add humanity into this. It was all of this happened. And this man not only scored the first goal, against the opposition, he won the penalty and scored the penalty in the 97th minute, qualifying them for their first World Cup. And essentially, there was a curse. What do you mean against two? It was the first time they did it in 30 years. Hazard is in the golden generation of Belgium, and he's yet to achieve anything. He hasn't achieved jack shit. And you're saying he's great. This is the golden generation of Belgium. This is not the golden generation of
the penalty against,
mate. And he still qualified them for the World Cup.
Stodge, can I just ask who he scored the penalty against? Which
he won the penalty. What are you on about?
Brazil? Argentina? Must have been Holland. I think, was it Italy?
What big team did Hazard score against in the World Cup? Wait. What big team did Hazard score against in the World Cup?
Let me ask you that question. He did it against Brazil. He did it against Brazil. Okay, all right. Okay, you got me. He scored the penalty against Brazil.
Did he score? Oh, he didn't.
Look, Stodge, you can't hate a man for balling in a World Cup. You can't.
Wait there.
Dreams of
Hazard
Zidane.
plays for the golden generation of Brazil. Of Belgium. Does he? Wait there. Does Hazard have a knockout goal in the World Cup?
He has one of the greatest World Cup
answer the question.
Salah
does he have a knockout goal? It's a yes or no.
In the groups. Stodge.
I answered your question. Mine was a yes or no. Why can't you reply with a simple yes or no? Does he have a knockout goal, which is your biggest criteria? Answer it, yes or no.
He has.
Does he have a knockout goal? He plays for Belgium.
He has a superb performance. That speaks volumes. That speaks.
He doesn't have anything. And let's get down to context, because all of you guys in this channel, along with HH's propaganda, have been disrespecting Salah to the nth degree. Salah has revolutionized Liverpool, my club. He has completely changed us. He has taken us to a Champions League final in our first season. He has taken us from a club that was getting slapped. He's been taking us from a club that got slapped 6-1 by Stoke. He has not only in the last 3 seasons, every season he has the most assists for us. He creates the most chances. Yes, he creates more chances than Mane every single season, including this one. In fact, this season he has the second most created chances in open play in the entire Premier League. Guess who? After De Bruyne, he has the most second created open chances. Let me add something else into this. Okay, you say that, and guess what?
FA Cup titles?
Salah, what?
How many Premier League titles has Salah won?
He's going to win the Premier League this title.
How many Europa League titles?
Well, we know.
So only one CL title, and it's got a penalty. Okay.
I mean, eat your fruits and veg, lose weight, and listen to your mama, because we don't play in the Europa League, mate. We play in the Champions League. Don't mention a bum league. Do not mention. This guy, he needs to work on eating his fruits and veg.
But Mane won. I know. He's got a penalty.
Eat your fruits and veg, and you'll get to Salah's level. All he should concentrate on eating his fruits and veg. Don't mention. He's not. He doesn't know the Champions League. Hazard doesn't know the Champions League. Hazard doesn't know the Champions League. So don't mention him. I don't know why you're mentioning. He doesn't know the Champions League.
Does he know what a World Cup semi looks like? I just want to know.
World Cup semi.
Does he know what being the third best team in the world looks like? Does he know that?
We don't play to lose. 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 We don't play to lose.
So he doesn't know what.
I mean, we don't celebrate losing in a semi-final. That's what you. That's what Hazard and we don't celebrate losing in a. Yeah, like I was saying, Salah has created the most chances. Salah has created the most chances for us every single season.
Okay. Look, Stodge, round of points. I need to go to other guys. Round of a point.
From open play, not set pieces, not anything else. Mane has missed 15 big chances. Firmino has missed 19 big chances. Salah's only missed 4 big chances. He has the highest conversion rate in the Premier League. Yes, he has the highest conversion rate, showing that he's not getting that many chances. He's also is the #1 player in Europe that's able to create a shot off the dribble. Any of you can look this up. When it comes to getting inside the box and creating a shot from a dribble, he's #1. It's funny, Hazard is always top 5 when it comes to dribbles.
Great score.
But when it comes to effective dribbles, the guy disappears. He's not even in the top 10. So it shows, once again, he dribbles in useless positions and passes sideways. And Salah has done it in 2 leagues. Roma, Italy, and England. So far, Hazard has been a flop in Madrid. One player system, one system.
Okay, so let me just take a super chat from Martin Rosario, who says, guys, we all know HH got ethered. Laugh my ass off. It's obvious. Martin supports me in Atalanta on Twitch. I'll be there very soon. And Martin, and I need more positivity. So before I come to Ali Osman, Stodge, I admire the passion of yourself and Hazem, and you and Hazem are both passionate people, but Zidane did call Hazard one of the best players he's ever seen. Zidane is one of the GOATs, and that is what ended the debate. Zidane is never saying anything about Salah. Case closed. So, Ali Osman, thoughts on the debates and thoughts of Zad versus Salah?
For me, to compare Hazard and Salah is an absolute disrespect. Salah can't touch Hazard. Like, are you serious? Hazard or Salah? No. Come on, bro.
Look, Ali, I did it for fun. I did it because I did it for laughs. I did it for pure entertainment. I did it for pure entertainment. Ali, we know this, but we know this. But look, let's just do it. Let's just entertain these guys. Let's entertain the kids. It's for the kids. It's for the kids.
Exactly. But for me, the fanboys, when they debate this, all they want to talk about is goal scoring. Like, that's the only category when it comes to comparing players. They don't want to talk about creativity, dribbling, like involvement in a game. They don't want to talk about that because they know Hazard destroys
Why
Salah
don't
when
you
it comes
search
to
up
all the other
Salah's
categories.
Let
creativity?
him land, man. Let the guy land, man. Let him land, man.
Let me talk, because I
Oh,
so
your mic is
for
messing up.
fact,
Your mic is messing up. Your mic is messing
yeah.
up.
When it comes to Hazard and Salah, I say Hazard is a better player is because
Okay, Ali, come out and come back in because your mic is messing up. Your mic is messing up. Armchair critic, do you have your mic working?
I guess I do. Can you hear me?
Okay, all right. Actually, is this your first time on the Hangout?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, yo. So this is a regular on both channels, this and the other channel.
Yes.
So, Armchair critic, man, the floor is yours.
See, I thought the debate was very good, but I think you try to undermine Salah far too often. You try to reduce him to a goal scorer, which he's clearly not. Like Stud just pointed out, he's much more than a goal scorer. He creates chances regularly. He has one of the most assists in Liverpool, like arguably the most assists in the last few seasons. Ever since he's moved to Liverpool from the 17-18 season up until now, I guess if you combine the goals and assists of all the forwards in Europe, he's only second to Lionel Messi, who's widely regarded as the best player of his generation. His 17-18 season is easily the closest thing to a Messi and Ronaldo season. I think if the World Cup wasn't held in that particular year, he probably would have won the Ballon d'Or because he was the best club player that season. Hazard, I agree with you. He's more technically gifted than Salah. He's a better dribbler. To me, he's more aesthetically pleasing. But when it comes to effectiveness, and this is why I've sided with Ronaldo over Messi, because when it comes to the big moments, when it comes to being clutch, he always delivers. And that's where Hazard has always fallen short. He has 0 knockout goals in the Champions League from open play. The biggest performance that you can give me by Hazard is that loss against France. I know he dribbled a lot of people, but he did not do anything decisive in the final third that led his team to a victory. And that's what you hold against Messi and Ronaldo. I can also say that Messi was brilliant against Chile in both the finals. He even scored his first penalty in 2015, I believe. But he failed to be decisive, and that's what you hold him accountable for. So, similarly, I think Hazard is the more technically gifted player. But
Okay, Bob, real quick, Amchi, let me just ask you this then, because the point I made was, and let me see what your response to this. Has Salah come more clutch and performed in a bigger way than what Hazard did in that second half of that Europa League final against Arsenal, where Chelsea were the underdogs?
Let me ask you a counter question to that. Do you think a Champions League semi-final is comparable to a Europa League final?
You have to look at the context. So 100% on face value, a Champions League semi is bigger than a Europa League final. But then when we look deeper into the context, that Champions League semi-final, they're playing against Roma, who aren't really a heavyweight. So Liverpool were already...
Who had eliminated my team, who had ruined my sleep that night. They had eliminated us 3-0, and they had Messi failed to score or assist in both legs against that Roma team. And they also beat Chelsea in the group stages, I believe. So
No. But still, even if you see what they did, Liverpool have a far greater history and pedigree than Roma. I believe that's the first time. No, that is the first time Roma have reached the Champions League semi in their history. So Liverpool, in spite of what Roma did, Liverpool were still pretty much slight favorites. But for Chelsea, they were overwhelming underdogs against Arsenal, who slashed and smacked Valencia in the semi.
See, in my opinion, his performance against City was better than what Hazard did in the Europa League final. And to me, I side with you on this, that Hazard, if you consider his time since Lille till now, he will go down as the better player if both of their careers were to end now. But in the last 3 seasons, I think Salah has just taken his game to the next level, where he's in the conversation, conversation. Yeah, in the last 3 seasons, he has been more decisive. But since 2012 till now, I think, I will side with Hazard.
Okay, so let me just hit this super chat here. So, Martin Rosario, the hater, haven't seen a beating like this since story of Adidon. Martin, I'm gonna find you. Wherever you are, I'm gonna find you, man. From No Name, he says, "Chill, Stodge. It's not that deep." Stodge, can we please relax? Okay, look, people are saying that you should chill.
Okay, okay. What happened?
Hey, Stodge, easy. Let me talk to some guys.
What
Hey,
happened to
can
the
you
reason
hear
why
me?
that's
No, Stodge,
Since
that's what not. Let me come to this. Adage 3, is your mic working there?
Yo, can you hear me?
Let me just hit this super chat. Yeah, we can hear you. Adage 3 can hear you. Rosario, the hater, haven't seen a beating like this since story. Oh, so sorry. Adage 3.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so thoughts on the thoughts on the debate and Zad and Salah. Who's the better player?
Hasn't won the debate. I'm sorry, HH. But I think that it comes up down to preference because Salah is a great goal scorer and a good playmaker. Zard is an excellent playmaker and a good goal scorer. So it depends on if you value the goal scoring more than the playmaking. But in this game, goal scoring will always be more valuable when you could create for yourself because you could create chances for other people all you want, and if they don't finish it, what's the point? So Salah can create for his teammates, and then he's just a way better goal scorer than Hazard. So I got to give it to Mo.
Okay, no. But look, I said again. Look, I mean the main thing about the whole thing, then everything is, I think it's how you view things. Because look, people hate on Hazard because of how much I cape for him. You know, after what he did in the Europa League final and what he did in our World Cup semi, I say, look, man, this guy is on a different level. So, and it is what it is. But my main thing is those two quotes, I think, are irrefutable, and there is no arguments you can make that can refute those two quotes. Because I told you.
But he did. He told you about the Zard quote.
Easy. Let me land. I'll give it up to you. Let me land. Once the GOATs, because you know what how I view Zidane. Once Zidane said that about Zad, it's end of this discussion. The GOAT has spoken. That's a horseman. Once a horseman speaks, basically, it's actually insulting for me to even enter the debate. Once I saw quote, no, it's over. But I just did the debate because I think it's fun and because Hazem was bugging me so much. I said, you know what? Let me just do it. I'll do it for the kids. I'll do it for people. But if we want to be real, goal scoring wise, oh my gosh, Salah trumps Salah goal scoring wise. But when you talk about football and understanding what it means to be a football player and what to do on the pitch, it's not even a debate. It's not even a debate. Having a debate is stupid because there's no comparison between Salah and Hazard as football players. So us doing it is we're just doing it to entertain you guys. So look,
you should have gone deeper with your arguments against Salah though, if you wanted to win the debate. Like you should have
but you see,
talked about that 18-19 season when Liverpool were ahead of City and had a chance to win the title. And then Salah came up short against West Ham, Leicester, and Everton. Because before the Everton game, Liverpool were still in the lead, and they could have won the title if they won the rest of their games. So after he missed those big chances, Man City were back in the lead, and both teams won the rest of their games. So had Salah scored those goals against Everton, you could argue that Liverpool would have won the title.
No, but then that's why I said that. Look, Hazard has been at the forefront of titles for Lille, titles for Chelsea. The only title Salah has led his team was Champions League. And in that Champions League, even if Salah doesn't score that penalty, Origi would have already scored that goal. So
we don't know because the momentum would have changed. It would still been 90 minutes.
That's an assumption.
Let's move because we have other stuff to talk about. Because look, we'll be here for
somebody has a good quote.
Look, Stodge, Zad is better. Just deal with it. Zad is better. Just deal with that.
Beckham is the best player anyway.
Let's. So I want to talk about Sancho. I want to talk about your boy Sancho. So people are talking about this dude, and it seems as if Man United are a real target. Chelsea are there. Man United are a real target. But I want us to really hone in on what we think about Jadon Sancho, the player. Now, for me, David Beckham is the most overrated player of all time. Rooney, to me, was never world class. Joe Cole could have been great. But I just think that England didn't really fully appreciate what he was about. Gerrard and Lampard were all hype. When it came time to the World Cup, they completely flopped. So, and I think Scholes, as good as he was, he didn't really able to do it on the international stage. This Sancho, I believe, is the most exciting player England have had since Joe Cole. You know, and again, I'm using the double eye test here. So this is not about how many goals he scored, how many assists he scored. When I look at Sancho, I haven't been this impressed with an English player since Joe Cole. And what he's been doing for Dortmund, I think, is exceptional. And I believe that if Sancho remains at Dortmund and develops, I think Sancho can say what's up to the Us, Sane, and the Prodigy, because those guys form the triumvirate of the best young players, and they form the future of football. Is you can actually argue that is the future of football, but it's fine. The future of football is the Prodigy, the Us, and the Roy. The Roy signing. But I feel that Sancho is etching into that position right now. So what I think Sancho could potentially be, it all depends. I think United is a risk. I think United is a risk because if he goes to United and things start to not go well, they lose matches, will Sancho properly develop? Look at what happened to Pogba. Pogba remains at Juventus. Pogba probably is on that Ballon d'Or shortlist or probably wins the Ballon d'Or if Pogba remains at Juventus. So for me, I think if Sancho remains at Dortmund, Sancho will be quickly creeping up as to be one of the best players out in the world. Dortmund just need to add a few more pieces and a few more players. Look, they face PSG, and PSG are a team under pressure who are on a mission. But are we going to deny what Sancho did in that first leg? Sancho balled in that first leg. He was arguably the best player in that first leg. So I'm going to come here first with Adage 3 on this. What do you think Sancho's potential is? And do you think that he should remain at Dortmund to develop, or do you think he should remain, or do you think he should go to United to take his football to the next level?
He should definitely leave Dortmund, but I'm not sure if it should be to Man United. I'm so glad that Man City let him go because he's a baller for real. But you got to look at the disparity in quality between the defenders in the Bundesliga and the Premier League and Spanish league, because a lot of players have balled at a high level in Germany. Like Dembele, he was great in Germany, but what has he done in Barcelona? And even players like Reece Nelson were great in Germany, but with Arsenal, he's not the same player. Ademola Lookman was okay at best at Everton, but he was pretty good in Bundesliga. So you got to see the difference when he gets to the Premier League again, because he has to step up again and see if he could do it internationally with England, because he has the talent, of course, but actually performing on the international stage is a whole different topic. With English players, we've seen some great names like Lampard, Gerrard. You spoke about them earlier. Once they got to the World Cup and all these different Euros, they weren't the same players we see on a week-to-week basis.
Okay. So then, the decision-wise, do you then want him to remain at Dortmund or make the move to United for him to become that next dude?
He's got to make the move.
Okay. Mr. Jamal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, Sancho.
Going back. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you, man. We can hear you.
Yeah. Just going back to the last thing, Pele said Beckham is one of the best players he has ever seen. So that means Beckham is one of the best players he will, because I said it. By the way, back to Sancho. Yeah, to me, this boy has something special. You could see it in the way he moves, the charisma. I think he can get a lot. And I think he could be one of the best players in the world in the next 5 to 6 years. But I think the only downfall I see in Sancho is going to Manchester United. I think he's going. I think it's already done. I think if he didn't have Corona, I think it would have become confirmed already. That's the only downfall I see in Sancho future, because I don't think Manchester United right now is a stable place for him. And I think what should we see manager is Solskjaer. I don't know. It's not stable at Manchester United right now. So I feel going to Manchester United will be downfall. But ability wise, I think in all the young players, I think he's up there with the Usa and Mbappe. Yeah.
I don't think he's up there with the Usan and the Prodigy yet. He's getting there, but I think those guys are pretty much on a different level, bro. BDCO, thoughts on this Sancho discussion there?
Yes, HH, is my mic good?
Yes, we can hear you, man. Hear you, man. Speak.
Yeah. Yeah,
We can
what's
see
up,
you as
bro?
well.
I haven't seen you for a long time, man. So yeah, I think Sancho, like I said, we need over 100 million for Sancho. I don't think 100 million is the right price for Sancho necessarily.
But do you think 100 million is realistic in this market, especially with the coronavirus and the pandemic?
In this market, I feel like he's worth more than that because he's such an unpredictable player.
No. The point I'm making is that no one has any money. It's not about the value. No one has any money because nobody has been making any money for the last few weeks. So people cannot do not have the funds to spend over 100 million on any player because nobody has been making money in this pandemic.
Oh yeah, I think at the moment it's pretty realistic. I think that 100 million is pretty realistic at the moment, but I think if we were still playing football, I guarantee you that we should get at least over 100 million for him. I think he's such a special player in that you can't really predict what he's gonna do. You know what I'm trying to say? And um we have to see, like, for me, this is the thing. I think if we're gonna if we're gonna sell Sancho, I'd sell him over 100 million. I don't think he's exactly 100 million. Because this is the question I want to ask HH. Do you really think United is a really good club at the moment for Sancho to go to? Because the question we should be asking ourselves is he going to win a UCL? Is he going to win a Premier League for Manchester United? I don't know with a coach like Solskjaer. I don't think they can win a Champions League or a Premier League. So I think the more probable scenario, HH, is I stay in Dortmund for another season and then, probably go to a team like a Real Madrid or so forth, where I know I can win a La Liga, or I know I can at least win a Champions League, a trophy that a lot of players really want. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't see how that's gonna work out. Him going to United, because I don't know how he's gonna win a Premier League. And another question is, are you even gonna win a Champions League? I mean, I don't believe in Solskjaer. I think Solskjaer.
No. Basically, what I've always said is that that's why I use the Pogba example, which is that when you're a young player and you find a team that you're balling at and you work at, you have to stay there.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you have to
I
follow up
agree.
because I always say the sweet spot is 26, 27, 28.
Oh
When you're
yeah.
26, 27, that's when it's like, all right, now the club you should be playing at should be a club where is of a high stature and so forth. The easy thing is that for Sancho, if he's to move to United, it's a risk. Now, if he
Oh
goes
yeah.
there and he balls, I think that will
Mhm.
dramatically change United because I think
I
Sancho is a
think.
fantastic
Mhm,
player. But I think that it may be safer because he's so young. He's so young
mhm.
because if he goes to United,
Yeah,
there will be a lot of pressure on him. There's no pressure
yeah.
on him at Dortmund. Dortmund is a playground for kids.
For kids, yeah.
Dortmund is like nursery school. However young you are, come in here. You can be 3, 4, 5. You can play tic tac. So you can play ringer roses. It is a breeding ground for young kids to develop and to express themselves. What
Oh yeah.
an amazing place to go to. And obviously, we'll obviously get to Ansu Fati later on
Mhm.
in the next topic. But yeah, that's just what I believe. All right, let me.
Can I say something, HH?
Yeah,
I think the best scenario move for Sancho at this moment would be Liverpool. This is what I'm thinking, because I think Liverpool
but does he
need.
start for Liverpool?
No. But the thing is, Liverpool need depth, and I can still see him getting game time over a player like Salah, who I could say probably he's aging at the moment. How many years does Salah really have on his belt? How many years does Sadio Mane really have on his belt? I think that's a question you should be asking yourselves. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm done.
All right. Cool. All right. Mr. San Maya, your thoughts on Sancho? Should he stay at Dortmund or should he move to United?
So I'm gonna start off by just giving him stats first. So Sancho has gotten over 10 goals and 10 assists for 2 consecutive seasons at Dortmund. For a 20-year-old, he has overperformed. And you can say he is good enough to challenge himself and move to a big team where he must be guaranteed consistent minutes. So I wouldn't say him leaving Dortmund would be too early or it would be detrimental to his career. However, if I was to advise Jadon Sancho, I would just tell him to stay at Dortmund for one more season. Try to dethrone Bayern, as Sancho hasn't won anything at Dortmund yet, or try to win the DFB Pokal, or like like at least help them try to win a title before you make the big move. So that's just my opinion for Jadon Sancho.
And do you feel that he can say what's up to Mbappe and the US, or do you think that he will always be a level below Mbappe and the US?
Well, I'm not sure if the ooze can fulfill his potential, but if let's say if the ooze does, I think you can really compare those two. You can put them in the same sentence. But Mbappe, no, not yet.
Okay. LB, thoughts on this?
Look, I personally think that Sancho has great potential and talent. Look, he's gone from strength to strength while he's been at Dortmund, and obviously this has now led to, the huge sort of debate and topic of whether he'll leave and go to United or even another club. Look, being such a young talent, I think that money will it will be the deciding factor if he stays or leaves Dortmund. Personally, like you, HH, I reckon it will be a risk if he does leave. So I think he should stay at Dortmund for a number of reasons. Over the last few seasons, the Bundesliga has really sort of almost re-emerged as one of the powerhouse sort of leagues in world football, if not the best league. I think the brand of football also fits Sancho's attributes, the brand that Dortmund plays as well. His ability to create goal-scoring opportunities, obviously his pace and his ability to go forward and defend as well would suit Dortmund's style. And let's not forget, Dortmund are currently in the title race and did narrowly miss out last season and are overdue for a Bundesliga title. If he does stay at Dortmund, he's guaranteed Champions League football, whereas United have been a team who've been struggling to qualify for, or certainly this season. Obviously, they played last season in the Champions League, but they've been struggling to find a position in the Champions League. Look, I suppose if
So let's say he stays at Dortmund and he develops. Do you think 5-6 years time he will be amongst the best players in the world on the Ballon d'Or shortlist, or you think he'll still be a level below like a Sané, Us, and Mbappe?
Look, like what you were saying, I think he can use Dortmund as a bit of a sort of like a warm up, as a sort of nursing sort of ground to sort of get him prepared for the future, and in order to sort of get to the level of the Us or Mbappe, I think that he'll eventually have to leave in order to do that. But at least for the near future, I reckon he should stay at Dortmund.
Okay. Stodge, Sancho, speak on it, bro. Stodge? Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I'd advise him to stay at Dortmund because, I mean, there's been too many Dortmund flops at United for one. I mean, Kagawa, great at Dortmund, huge flop. Mkhitaryan, the dude had I think it was close to 30 assists, 20 goals, so many goal contributions. He might have even been player of the season, I don't remember. An utter flop. Alexis Sanchez smashing it up, an utter flop. So if you're looking at this track and you're Sancho and you have yet to achieve anything of note at Dortmund, you've flopped at 2 Champions Leagues. I've seen him. He looked like, to me, honestly, when I was watching against Dortmund last year, at times he didn't even look like a professional player. This year, second leg, he showed that he's not clutch, completely disappeared. I mean, where's you're signing for, especially when you're signing for a crap team like United. So there's a difference between going to a good team where you don't need to drag. But if you're gonna have to go to United, you're gonna have to bring out. You're gonna have to show you have the ability to drag a team. And he's failed. He's yet to win any titles at Dortmund, which is, again, let me say again, they're a better team than United. I mean, Pogba's been another flop at United. I mean, to realize that I probably shouldn't make this move.
Stop. Your mic
This is career suicide. Look at Alexis Sanchez, Enric Mkhitaryan, Kagawa. Oh.
Okay, wow. Okay, I think your mic is cutting on. Your mic is cutting on, bro. Dr. Joe, Sancho, speak on it.
I think Studge and a couple others touched on this point too. The sheer disparity of the leagues between like La Liga, the EPL, and Bundesliga is too great to ignore. And I think players are starting to recognize this fact because the sheer amount of forward players that move to the Bundesliga these days shows that they know that it's quite easy to play there, like Haaland. Even like as a Barcelona fan, Paco Alcácer, Barcelona flop. This guy went to the Bundesliga and he was coming off the bench and had the best goal scoring ratio of probably any forward a couple seasons ago. I think two seasons ago. So I don't really rate the Bundesliga when you're using stats to compare forwards. And then the question is, how good is Sancho really?
Wait. Okay, so are you then saying that because of what he does in the Bundesliga, there's no guarantee that he will ball if he came to the Premier League?
Exactly, that's my point. And second of all, how good is Sancho really? We need to
easy.
We need to have an honest discussion. How good? Not only Sancho, how good is the Oos and the Prodigy?
No, Joe, don't do it. Don't do that. Joe, don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
Look, I'm a Barcelona fan. I just said it myself. But I'm going to tell you, Joe, there's no guarantee that potential will return to.
No, come on. Put some respect on the Oos's name. Put some respect on the Oos's name, man.
Look,
why is he called Oos? You don't get a nickname if you don't ball. So it's like
no. That dude is snoozes more than he actually shows up for games. That's why he's called the Use. That guy, no. Look, let's not go into that. But I think Ousmane Dembele and Mbappe are quite overrated too. So I don't even see Sané. I think has performed up to what people rate him as, but Mbappe flopped in the Champions League. He needs a Neymar to beat Manchester United without Pogba, and so he missed couple one-on-ones with De Gea, who was also a flop.
He's got a World Cup, man. He's got a World Cup.
Yeah, but still, club-wise, I don't rate someone that plays in Uber Eats. So I for once I'd have to agree with Bidikor because I believe he should stay at Dortmund in the ideal scenario and iron out his talent a bit more, flesh it out, and then he could move to Manchester United. Honestly, I don't see what people are saying. As Alexis was at the end of his career, how good is Kagawa really? And Manchester United.
Let me ask you this then. So quick. So you don't believe Sancho will ever come close to Mbappe, Sané, or the Ous?
Nah, I believe they're probably in the same category.
What? Okay, wait. Okay, so who do you...
Based on quality. On quality, they are in the same category. Based on achievements, Mbappe is definitely ahead.
Easy. Let me ask you this. In 6 years' time, who do you think will then be the best player or best players in the world in 6 years' time?
Nobody really knows. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what's going to happen. I definitely believe two of them would be ahead of Dembele because dude has spent more time injured than he's actually played. So, like, still, I don't know, but one thing is for sure: Mbappe has the market evaluation and the World Cup, and the fact that he is in the best, one of the best generations France football have ever seen, or maybe will ever see. So he will always get the chance to shine at the World Cup and Europa League tournaments, which will also increase his market value and help him move to wherever he's going to move. And he is definitely going to play for Real Madrid. So he will be at the forefront of football in the years to come. Nobody knows the future. That's what I'm going to say. Manchester United isn't as big as gamble as people say. If things continued as they were, they would have broken into the top four ahead of people like Chelsea, who you would have put ahead of Manchester United to sign Sancho. You believe that Sancho would perform better at Chelsea?
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay,
Right?
so okay, just to round. Okay, to round off, what should Sancho do? Stay at Dortmund or move?
Stay at Dortmund a season more, and then get his dream move. He is a Manchester United fan after all. Get your dream move to Manchester United. Link up with Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, the team they are building, the dream team. Yeah, and challenge for the Premier League title.
Okay. Special here from Sean. He says, you value Zizou quotes. He said Gerrard was best in the world. Give me proof or I don't believe it. Give me receipts or I don't believe it. I strongly disbelieve that Zizou, my hostman and my goats would say that about Gerrard. Okay. Zizou only says these quotes about real goats like Zad. Hakuna Matata. Sancho, what should you do? Stay at Dortmund or move to Man United? Mr. Hakuna Matata. Okay, his mic ain't working. Mr. Red Tommy.
Yeah, my
sorry.
Okay,
you go.
Okay, so Hakuna Matata, speak on it, and then we come to Red afterwards. Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, I think he should stay for 2-3 more. He's like only 19. Yeah, he can stay till 21, 22, try to dethrone Brian. And I don't think Manchester United is the good destination for him. He would be much better better off playing under Pep than under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because Pep systems overcharges forwards anyways. So if he wants to move, Manchester City would be a much better destination than Manchester United. But I would say wait for 2-3 seasons and then get your dream move.
Do you think, what is his potential? What is Sancho's ceiling?
Probably current Neymar level.
Excuse me? Oh, so you think that he can get to the level of Neymar now?
Yeah, maybe a little bit below, like slightly above Hazard and slightly below Neymar. That kind of level.
Oh, damn! Wow. Okay. Red Tommy, speak on it. Sancho.
Yo, I think Sancho's a really, really good talent, but I can't rate anyone that highly until they come out of that league, because it just produces flop after flop. As soon as they go to a better league, they just flop. Yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan, and we've got Naby Keita, who's come to Liverpool, and he's been such a flop so far. You can see he's talented, but I just don't think he's got like the competitiveness for the Prem to play good in the Prem. I do really rate Sancho though highly. Like, I think he should have a few more years in Bundesliga and like really get better at his craft until he can join like a bigger team, because this always happens with these young talents like the Oos. He joined Barcelona and he's just like, he's not ready yet, I don't think.
Okay, so you don't think Sancho is really as good as people make him out to be?
I think he's got the potential to be a lot better, like a really, really good player. But at the minute, no, I don't think he's as good as what everyone thinks, because that league is just, it seems easy for strikers. Look at Haaland. Haaland's a bit of a brick, to be honest, and he goes there and scores about 10 goals in about 10 minutes. It makes no sense.
Okay. Okay. So you
put
think
Haaland in Prem? I don't think he'd do that, would he? You think he would?
I don't. For me, like, you see, I think Haaland would based on how he plays and how fast the Premier League is and how open the Premier League is, maybe not to the same degree, but I think Haaland would have a similar effect. But he wouldn't do that in a La Liga or in a Serie A because the games are a lot more tighter and more technical. But Premier League games, because they are very open, I think it lends itself to a tough, flat track bully, direct, tall, aggressive kind of striker like a Haaland. So I think Haaland would do not to the same extent of business, but I think he would have a similar effect because I think he is very effective if you play counter-attacks and an opening games. You
Yeah,
don't
like a United.
in Syria.
He'd be good at like a United or maybe a Chelsea, but I think if you're in like a Liverpool where we have a lot of the ball or City, I don't think he's good in tight spaces, Haaland. I think he needs space, doesn't he, to perform. He's not got the best first touch.
Okay. So you're a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
So because people were mentioning that, all right, would you want Sancho then? If Sancho was available, would you want him?
Of course. Yeah, definitely.
So see, my thing is here that so if you're Sancho, so put yourself in Sancho's shoes then. If you're Sancho, what is better for you? Play for one of the best performing clubs in the world in Liverpool, but you're not guaranteed to start. You have to fight for your place and you're not going to get those many minutes. Or do you play for a team not to this level as Liverpool, but you're guaranteed first team places within Dortmund? What do you do if you're Sancho?
Try not to be biased because I'm a Liverpool fan, but I probably would say stay at Dortmund. But I think if Sancho did join Liverpool, I think we would put Salah up front and have Firmino in a 10 and then Mane on the left and Sancho on the right. And in a Liverpool, he'd get so much of the ball because we keep the ball so well now. Like we have 65% possession, like average a game. I think he'd get a lot of ball, so it'd probably work for us.
But then is Salah being your top goal scorer? Would you want Salah to play the greater parts of his games as a striker or in a stronger position as a wide right forward? As a wide right forward.
I think you're right. His stronger position is a right forward, but I think Salah could change his game just into a goal scorer.
Okay. All right. That's fair. All
don't get me wrong, he's good. Oh yeah, go on.
No. I'm not. I mean, it's fair. Just that I just think that not everybody is as adaptable as a Cristiano. Fully successfully adapt is risk, and it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. A lot of Salah's goals are similar to how Robin got his goals, i.e., coming into his left, finding his sweet spot, and then shooting through. Playing as a striker, whether it's a striker, a false nine, requires a different part of your brain to acclimatize to that. It's good for 3 or 4 games, but now playing like 20 or 30 games in a totally new position, it takes time. It takes time to acclimatize.
Yeah,
you can never really afford that time for Sancho to acclimatize to the new system for Liverpool, and for Salah to acclimatize to the new system of playing as a striker, and not really a striker, a false nine, which is what Klopp wants, which is what Firmino does very well. So again, these are the things they have to go through. Okay. So let's just change things around a little bit. I now want to now come into Ansu Fati. So here it is. So Barcelona are entertaining the prospect of selling. Now letting Ansu Fati go. Now I first thought this was them wanting to sell Ansu Fati to Dortmund, and I got scared. I was like, "Oh, this is wild! Like, how are you?" Ansu Fati is one of, but then I read that they still have Fati in their plans, but this would be a loan. Now, in regular terms, oh my God, Barcelona loaning out a 17-year-old, that would be quality. That would be a great thing for them to do. Barcelona do not have the luxury to loan out Ansu Fati, whether they like it or not. A 17-year-old is one of their best players, and Barcelona need Ansu Fati right now, unless they can go out and buy a Neymar, a Sancho, a Leroy Sané, or so forth. Ansu Fati is one of their best players. So, in my view, if Dortmund got a hold of Ansu Fati, that would be an incredible acquisition. I think Ansu Fati would be perfect for Dortmund. And if I'm Ansu Fati, of course I want to remain at Barcelona. But if Dortmund is there, I am pretty much guaranteed to start because of how much they encourage playing young players. And it's the perfect team for him. But if you're Barcelona, and let's Ansu Fati go, you're putting your trust in Antoine Trashman. So, and what, Puig? So let me come first to the Barcelona here, Dr. Joe. So, Mr. Nagy, if you're the Barcelona guy making the decisions, do you keep a hold of Ansu Fati and make him part of Barcelona's plans moving forward, or do you allow yourself to loan him out to Dortmund to get experience and to become a better player? What do you do?
Well, it's quite plain and simple. He should be put on a very comfortable wage contract, and he should be tied down at all costs. I guess every Barcelona fan knows this, and every Barcelona purist knows this. In fact, any football fan knows this, but for some reason, Bartomeu doesn't know this, and it comes into a whole new debate or the whole theory of how Bartomeu and all his patsies have run Barcelona into the ground during his tenure. There's no Barcelona during his tenure haven't made any sense. We all know what Barcelona is, how they became great, what their philosophy is, but he doesn't care. He just, I don't know, like there is turmoil right now, and he is going to be removed next year. So it's basically just hold ship till then, and then we try to revitalize the squad and pick ourselves back up from the wreckage, because it is a wreckage. Some of the most bizarre and absurd signings in the last 10 years have been made by Barcelona. Barcelona have spent almost 300 million on Coutinho and Dembele, and another 120 million the next summer on Griezmann, and they've all been flops. And they keep making these kind of signings. They keep wearing debt, hundreds of millions of dollars in debt, and still it's not looking any better. The board members resigning, some being cancelled, and so on and so forth, conspiracy theories. And so, yeah, it is shambles, and it's just going to be along the list of all the young talents whom Barcelona should have held on to, but they let go of. Thiago, off the top of my head, even of this season, Alenia on loan, Todibo. We have Piqué at the back, and you're loaning out young talents to Schalke for chicken change. Like, it's appalling, but there's nothing I can do. I'm not a Kool-Aid.
Okay, then. So God's feeling. Hopefully when this transfer market starts to roll through, do you see?
My gut feeling is it won't happen, just because I really, really don't want it to, and I'm holding on to any shred of hope, because it's basically just Messi and a group of merry men in front these days.
Wait. I thought Griezmann is a World Cup winner. People say Griezmann is
Griezmann is. The funny thing is this: Griezmann hasn't been a flop, but he hasn't performed up to par, because there are a couple of very important goals that have been scored by Griezmann. For example, just before the coronavirus changed the world, he scored a very crucial away goal at Naples. And that has always been the problem in Barcelona. We played rubbish that game, and that goal was out of the blue, but he put it in the net, which is what Suarez hasn't been able to do in many years. He's had one away goal and one goal in 2 Champions League campaigns and 0 goals away from home since 2015. So That's ridiculous. But yeah, Griezmann hasn't been a flop per se. Even the couple goals like that, they've been important. But all the same, I hope it doesn't happen. But it won't surprise me because this board, it's right up their alley.
Okay, so but final thing then, he's young, and he said it's very hard to predict the future. Do you think we are seeing potentially the next big star, or are we seeing another Mario Götze or Bojan Kirkic?
Well, I usually hate going on record to say these things, but he doesn't strike me as a particularly talented, flamboyant kind of talent, like the way Sancho is on the ball, or Dembele, or even Mbappe at times can be on the ball. But he's put it like this: he's the most effective young talent there is. He just knows how to pop up with the goal and effective goals. And when you couple in his age and the time of crisis that he showed up for Barcelona, it's very hard to say he'll just die down, but he is inconsistent, so he does need to grow in talent. I believe he'll become a very good player for Barcelona. How good he'll be for the world and etch his name in the indelibles of history, I can't I can't say.
Okay. Mr. LB man, thoughts on Ansu Fati? Should he stay at Do you think he'll stay at Barca? Do you think he should be loaned out to Dortmund to develop? What do you think Barca should do?
I personally think that Barcelona should hold on to him at such a young age to be the youngest player to score at the new camp and in a UCL. That's obviously saying a lot about this player, and to have the likes of the Cannibal Suarez or Griezmann, who we don't even know whether Griezmann will be staying at Barcelona. And let's face it, Suarez hasn't been relevant since his one breakthrough season at Barcelona, which was the 14-15 season. And I noticed that there were some stats that were shared not too long ago about Suarez, and he hasn't been important since then. And with the ooze as well, we don't know whether he's going to be fit or not. So I reckon if those three sort of factors work in favour of Fati, then there will be a starting position for him in the Barcelona side. And in terms of whether he'll be the next big thing in world football, it's it's $1 million question. We don't know that, but let's try to sort of draw some comparisons and contrasts to Mbappe and Haaland. So obviously he is another young talent, but he is much younger than them as well. So correct me if I'm wrong. I think he's 17 years old.
Yeah.
He's 17 years old. So when Mbappe first came onto the scene, I reckon he was around 18. So so it's really sort of hard to say at this stage whether or not he's going to flop. But I reckon Barcelona should do everything they can to keep him. Yeah.
Okay. And okay. Just, do you think Barcelona need him, or do you think Barcelona should sort of be active in the market to get another big time player, or should they just keep Ansu Fati and actually make him a prominent member of the first team?
I reckon the fact that they've actually gone into the market and tried to get hold of, they've obviously got Griezmann, they got Suarez, they got the ooze over the last 3-4 seasons. They should try something different and try to sort of raise and bring up a player as opposed to buying. Who knows? This player might be the perfect type of talent to replace Messi when he retires, and they won't have to worry about purchasing Neymar again. So I reckon they should keep him, develop him, and bring him up to a level where he can perform at his best.
Okay. Jamal Thompson, speak on this. Ansu
Yeah.
Fati.
Yeah, I feel they should sell him personally. Yeah, because I'm gonna say how good is Ansu Fati really? I watched plenty of games for Barcelona and I'm not impressed. I don't know all the hype is coming from. Oh yeah, no, wait, I do know. The hype is coming because Barcelona is trash. As far as I am concerned, he is the Spanish Theo Walcott.
So you say he's the what?
The Spanish Theo Walcott.
Wow, wow. I mean, but look, see, that's unfair, bro. Because I don't think Theo Walcott could, at his best, ever broke into the Barcelona first team. I don't think Theo Walcott was able to single-handedly knock out a team like Inter Milan from the Champions League. And also, Theo Walcott was irrelevant at 17. So
No,
it
no,
is
yeah, I think
unfortunate
if
at
you check the
17.
thing, did they bring him to the World Cup at 18? England. Yeah, you could ask around everybody.
Was he
At
17?
18, he was
Was he 17? When he was living, was he 17?
18.
He wasn't. So again, he wasn't 17. At
Okay.
17, so, so why you're wrong is that at 17, Fati was is breaking into the Barcelona first team playing in the Champions League. At 17, nobody knew what a Theo Walcott was. So even when he was 18, was Theo Walcott ever as good as being able to even play or feature in a technical team like a Barcelona to play alongside Messi? I don't think he was. So you comparing him to the Walcott makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. So I don't know why you bring up that Brick's name.
Now, the only reason I compare him is because the breakout at the same age now. Because when Theo Walcott, everybody was taking in all his hype. He was about the same age as Ansu Fati. But now, the only reason I think Fati is getting game time for Barcelona now is because, let's be honest, Griezmann, he ain't playing good. Messi had injuries at the start of the season, and guys, Suarez and all was out, and Barcelona is trash. So I don't think it's if he was breaking through the team when it had prime best players at Barcelona like Xavi, Iniesta, David Villa, all right in 2012 to team. But this Barcelona team, come on guys, anybody could break through this team.
Okay, okay. So as we said, Fati actually scored when he was actually 16. So that's even much more impressive.
Yeah, Walcott played for England when he was 17. Just thought I'd let you know.
Okay, okay, okay. That's fair, but I still think that there's still some disparity
Yeah,
there.
he's a Brit.
So I want to come to San Maya right now. So San Maya, speak on this Ansu Fati thing.
So Ansu Fati, in my opinion, has a lot of potential. So Barcelona, they need to be very careful with his development. And in my opinion, they should just loan him for a season so he can get consistent minutes. And unless Barcelona can guarantee Ansu Fati consistent game time, which I highly doubt, because I think Barcelona will probably try to buy a winger this summer, and then they still have Dembele and most likely Coutinho. I think he's coming back as well. So I don't see how Ansu Fati can get consistent game time at Barcelona. So yeah, just go on loan for one season and come back.
So what do you think Ansu Fati's potential is?
Uh, maybe, maybe, maybe around Hudson Odoi level.
Whose level?
Hudson Odoi.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Damn, I mean, all right. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Um, Mr. BD Coleman, speak on this thing, Ansu Fati, man.
Yes, so HH, I personally strongly believe that Ansu Fati um would be such a great signing for Dortmund, especially because he has the making of a really, really good player. And I believe I said this in one of your hangouts a long time ago. I rank him as part of the top, maybe top 15 or top 20 best young players right now because I'm looking at Mbappe. It's hard to get Mbappe. It's hard to get a player like Haaland and so forth. The other thing that I want to say is the guy who was comparing him to Theo Walcott. Theo Walcott is one of the best game changers I've seen in world football for ages. I mean, Theo Walcott is pretty good, and I take him in during Theo Walcott's prime. I would have took him during his prime in Dortmund anytime because I knew that he was a game changer. He could, when I'm 2-0 down or when I am 4-0, and I think that's what we all have to do is measure players in that standard. When you're 4-0 down, when you're 2-0 down, when you're 1-0 down, when you're 3-0 down, who is going to pick up the team? Who is going to score that crucial goal to get you back in the game? And Theo Walcott is that kind of guy. Um, and I think Fati is better than Messi. Yep. I said it last video, HH. I'm not taking back my words.
Bidiko,
Fati.
why do you do this?
No. I'm not doing this. I'm saying the truth. Fati is better than Messi.
No.
It's fact.
Okay, but Bidiko, what is your footballing logic? What is your footballing logic for
Okay.
saying that? And do you know what's so funny? Bidiko, it's so good that you have your camera now. Because when you used to say this stuff, I thought that you would say it with a serious face. But now that we can see your face, you're saying it with a smirk and a smile because even you know it's stupid what you're saying. So I'll give you the chance. Give me a footballing reason why you would come out with such trash, like a 17-year-old developing player called Ansu Fati is better than Lionel Messi.
Okay. So Ansu Fati in a game against a very compact Italian team, the name was called Inter Milan. In 2010, if I'm not mistaken, HH, I strongly believe Messi um did not score in San Siro. I've not seen Messi score in San Siro
No.
for ages.
Bidiko. This is about who is. You said he's the better player. You didn't say who has scored in the San Siro and who hasn't. You said he's the better player. How
Because
is
Ansu
a
Fati has
17-year-old who's
scored
only developing a better footballer and a
in
better player than a one-man team called Messi?
oh, okay. So this season, Messi away has been awful. The guy is a disaster. I mean, look, I'm looking at Ansu Fati away. He's way better than Messi in an away fixture than Messi is in an away fixture. Messi bottled against Bilbao. Messi bottled against flipping Slavia Prague. Messi bottled against all these teams. He's not that good.
No. Okay,
He
you see,
scored
Bidiko.
1 against
Okay, see, Bidiko. Before because we have to move on because other guys have to speak, but I just want Bidiko, I just want you just to admit the
I'm not
truth.
laughing. I'm being dead serious. Like,
No. Because Bidiko, everyone here knows what's happening here. You know that you were so pained by what happened to Barcelona. You were so pained by the shakedown at Anfield. You have taken this anger to the most extreme lengths of going and supporting Dortmund and hating on Barcelona based on just how your heart was broken. But let me say this again. BDP, just admit that you are still a Barcelona fan, but you are a Barcelona fan who is just hurting based on what Liverpool did to that team.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
How many times have we given Barcelona opportunities to prove themselves? Because I strongly believe every time we give them an opportunity, they failed miserably. Now, the thing here is, and I am not lying, go and check YouTube and watch Barcelona's away games in UCL and quarterfinals. They bottled to a Roma side who easily they should be scoring 4-0. Another thing that I want to say, HH, here is if I okay, so for example, me, why can I say that Ansu Fati or Theo Walcott is better than Messi when I've seen them when they're 2-0 down or 3-0 down, 4-0 down? They're much better players than Messi when they're 4-0 down or 5-0 down. That's why I'm saying this. Because I know what I'm talking about. I've actually seen these guys come back from 2-0, 3-0 down and actually impact the team.
Oh, no, but okay, look, okay, fair enough. But because I just think the thing, if you're being factual and you're being
I'm being
realistic,
serious. I don't
no. Okay, cool. if you're being factual or realistic, what you're saying makes zero sense. You saying because really, you understand? Because I'm sure that you want for your channel to grow and people to come to you. People will look at you as a psychopath and a sociopath if you come out and say Ansu Fati, who I rate and love, is better than Messi. But if you say this, people just say you're just a hater, and they can't. They will not take it seriously. They will view you as a clown. Do you want to be viewed as a clown, or do you want to be taken seriously?
Okay, so let me answer that question. I am a guy
Wait. Be very brief because we have to go to other guys. Be brief.
Okay. I'm a guy who always state the facts, nothing but the facts. If I've watched it and if I've seen with my own eyes what has gone on with Messi in the past 3 years, I'm gonna throw him under the bus. It's facts, and my thing is, I I am not a clown when I'm saying this. I'm saying this based off of my experience. I've played soccer before. I've played as a center back, a defender. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not lying when I'm saying Messi is an awful player. He is. I've seen him
All right. Okay.
awful in so
All
many
right.
games.
Okay. Bidiko. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Kelechi Sancho, Ansu Fati, speak on it.
I believe that Ansu Fati is he's Barcelona's best player besides Messi, and he's much better than Ousmane Dembele, who's
Relax.
Who's Everton level.
Relax.
He should stay at Barcelona, yeah, but a loan move to Borussia Dortmund would be probably the best move for him. And yeah, that's it really. Ousmane Dembele is overrated.
So, okay. So, why do you think Dortmund is the best move for him and not to remain at Barcelona with Messi?
Because like you see what young players do, they like Pulisic and Sancho, and you wonder why he wouldn't do well at Dortmund.
So, and what do you think his ceiling is? What do you think his potential is? How good do you think Fati can be, or do you think it's too early?
I believe that he'd be like probably Neymar level.
Okay. Wow. All right. Okay. That's your view. Okay. Neymar getting some disrespect. Stodge, Ansu Fati, speak on it.
He's an all right little player. I mean, he hasn't done much so far. I think he got into the team because of injuries. He didn't get there because the manager thought he was great. There was a lot of injuries that happened this season, and they basically had no choice but to play the guy. I don't know, but I was more impressed when Boyan started for the team because that was an actual treble-winning team. That was a great team, and they were both 17. I think he's ceiling. I don't know, man. The thing is, I've calmed down and I've taken a truth serum. And when it comes to young, I'm just going to say young black players, right?
Oh God!
I don't remember the last black player that won a Ballon d'Or. And I've seen Balotelli. I've rated him highly. He let me down. I've seen so many. I don't know what happens to them as the young talented ones, the ones that get hyped. Even Pogba, I was expecting him to do much better than he's doing now. So until one of them wins a Ballon d'Or, I don't know how to feel. And with Ansu Fati, I think Dembele and Mbappe, they can win a Ballon d'Or, but this guy Fati, I don't know, man. He reminds me of Freddie Adu.
Whoa!
I mean,
Stop,
bro, he's honestly, I seen he scored a few. No, exactly. Listen, HH, I've noticed something. Liverpool are doing it as well. This is a smart tactic. I think people are starting to. They looked at Benfica. They look at what they did with that guy Joe Felix, one of the most overrated, overhyped players, and they looked at how they got 100 million. Liverpool are starting this guy called Harvey Elliott. The dude's about 16. He has no right to get into the team. But this is smart marketing. Barcelona are very smart. So what these guys are doing is they're starting these young players who aren't good enough in the hope that they get one fluke goal and then they can sell them for big money. I'm telling you, you're going to see a lot more clubs starting these young players that don't deserve to start because they know if they get a bit of hype, they can sell them for big money. And I have to clap Barcelona. And I know people diss the board, but this is a brilliant move. You basically, I think they can sell the next Freddie Adu for like 40 million. I mean, brilliant move.
So you don't believe that Ansu Fati is going to amount to anything? That he'll just be another wasted, forgotten talent like Mario Götze?
Mario Götze actually achieved something. I think he'd be worse. So that's why I said Freddie Adu.
Apart from scoring that goal in the World Cup final,
I guarantee you, Ansu Fati won't do that.
No. But
I put my house on that.
But career-wise, Mario Götze has been a disappointment career-wise.
Yeah, but I see Freddie Adu. I don't think he's ever reached Götze's level.
Okay. Let's roll in here with Mr. Ored Tommyman. Speak on it, Ansu Fati.
Yeah. I think Fati is a good player. He's really good actually for his age. Like, I don't think there's many players in football that are as good as him at that age, ever. Really, I think he's really, really talented. And the disrespect, man.
No. Look, I think Sturge is just. I think he's still on his anger pills, based on that whole Salah thing. But it is what it is. I think he's coming down.
Right. I'm still laughing from the other guy. What is his name? Bidico, the guy. The
Bidico.
That were amazing.
So do you think Fati should stay at Barcelona, be part of the first team, or do you think being loaned to Dortmund will be the best thing for his development?
No, I think he should stay at Barcelona. I think he showed a really good mentality coming in. It wouldn't have thought that he's going to be playing that season at all, really, if there were no injuries. And he's just come in and he's took it quite well. I think he's done good coming in at 17 in like the biggest club in the world, near enough. Like, I think he's done a really good job, and I think he should stay at Barcelona and play with the best player, which is Messi.
Okay. So before I come to Adage 3 to round us off, guys, send in questions now, and I will look through the questions. So send in questions for the panel, and I will look through and pick out the best questions for us to answer. So send in your questions. Send in your questions in the live chat. Adage 3, Ansu Fati, speak on it.
Well, he has to be in Barca's long-term plans because they keep going for big name and quick fixes with players that don't fit their squad or have any chemistry. But if I'm Ansu Fati, I would go out on loan to get consistent playing time and more seasoning. But if I'm Barca, I would actually keep him for some squad depth. But whatever they do, they need to develop this kid and some other young players because they can't keep trying to just buy a UCL. Looking at his attributes, he's still raw talent, but he has good balance and acceleration and a pretty good touch. And he seems like a decent kid who would listen and work hard to get better. But we still need to see his shooting, goal scoring, and playmaking on a consistent level to see like if he's the real deal or not. Because it's been a small sample size. He's only played 24 first-team matches, scored 5 goals. And but I hope that Spain uses him since I think he chose Spain over Guinea. So we'll see how that goes.
So what do you think his overall potential could be? Do you think that he can reach Mbappe or the Usyk level? Do you think he'll be just below? I mean, so do you think we could be seeing the next great talent? It's so hard to see, or you think that he's just going to be all hype?
I think we need to stop trying to overhype players because, like, Global Goal today was like, "Is he the heir to Messi?" I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Wait,
anyone who says they know is lying because it's just a guess.
Wait. Was
like,
that from Goal?
Yeah, Goal. I posted on IG. Is like, is this the next? Is he Messi's heir or something like that?
Oh, those losers, man.
Maybe he could be like the other Mane. His name's Ansu Mane, but he has better balance than Mane.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to take some questions here, man. We're going to take some questions here, and I'll pick the best ones for us to ride through. So first question, I think this is a really good one. So guys, remember, send in your questions, man. Where did I find this one? All right. So Victor Osimhen, is he better than Haaland? Potential wise. So let me kick this off. I'm very excited about this kid. You know, being Nigerian and so on and so forth. Shout out to Adashri and Dr. Joe. This is something that we should be excited with. Nigeria haven't had a relevant striker since, I would say, Julius Agaoa. But then you look at, they've not really had a really top one since Amunike or Kanawankwo. I don't want to spell his name, but Nigeria have had to go through trash like Unsofo and that loser who missed an open goal in a flipping World Cup. So looking at what he's done at Lille has me very excited. And the very fact that he now has to, he will most likely leave because Uber Eats declared the league table controversially, and which means that Lille missed out on a Champions League, even if they were only 1 point behind. I think it was Rennes. Haaland is cool, but Haaland is brainless. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. I don't think he has a brain between his ears. I think he's a flat track bully, a really good goal scorer, but he doesn't really think much about what he's doing. I think Osimhen is the more intelligent player. He's a smarter player, has better football IQ, is technically better, and has much greater potential to be a top world-class striker. Where for Haaland, I think he's limited to what he can do. And I think that maybe in a few years we may not see Haaland again. So I think Osimhen is a more realistic, respectable, technical footballing talent. So I'll come to Dr. Joe. Potential-wise, who has most potential, Osimhen or Haaland?
As of right now, based on what I've seen, I haven't really watched. I have to admit, I haven't really watched a lot of Osimhen at Lille. Good news though, since he's going to leave, we most probably may see him in the Champions League. But based on what Haaland has done, as much as I slayed him for Bundesliga, where he's breaking stupid records, relevant, but he did show up in the Champions League, and he isn't technically gifted or anything, but he has very good confidence, competitiveness, a bit of adaptability because he doesn't really do anything else than just put the ball in the net. And he's doing it at a young age. But it's quite funny because I haven't still seen any commentator refer to Haaland as pace and power. And this is the white kid.
He's white.
And
no, Joe. He's white.
He's white. He's white. And this is the perfect example where you can refer to a player as pace and power only, and no one will feel bothered because he really is just pace and power. But I guess Osimhen can do more on the football pitch. But as I've always said, talent doesn't always translate to end product. So it's yet to be seen. Haaland is already at the top, you could say. So Osimhen has some work to do up Nigeria.
So Liverpool are a strong candidate, and I say no because he won't be guaranteed first team football. So if Liverpool were to go in for him, do you think he should still go because it's Liverpool, or would you reject it because he wouldn't be guaranteed first team football?
I reject. I reject. I think, funny enough, I think he should go to somewhere like Manchester United.
Yeah.
For some reason, there is this thing about Manchester United and young talent. I don't know. Even Jesse Lingard for some time balled for Manchester United. Jesse Lingard, God. He is trash, don't get me wrong. But there was a time when even Jesse Lingard was getting the goals and stuff. And don't forget, Igalo just balled for Manchester United. There's something that's coming together quite nicely in Manchester United. I believe any young talent getting in right now could be adding to that how do you say it? The strong argument that Manchester United is putting forth for why they should challenge for something, or they should have a team that's quite worth something very soon. So I don't know, something like that, where there's no much there's not a lot of expectation. Even if they do not get top 4, I don't think anybody's going to be blaming him. So yeah, that's a nice place for a young guy to go.
All right. Adage 3, speak on it.
Yeah, I think right now we got to go with Holland for being better, but for potential wise, I think Osimhen is a technically more gifted player and has better hold up play. He could play with back to goal or facing the goal. And but Osimhen's only done it in Belgium and France, so we have to see what he does when he goes to a top 3 league. But I'm a Liverpool fan and I like watching Osimhen, but I don't know if it's the right fit because
it isn't the right fit. But
remember Benteke
you
at
know
Aston Villa, how good he was.
You know what though? It's similar to what I call the Origi problem.
Yeah,
because Origi isn't a right fit for Liverpool, but he's useful because he scores goals, and Liverpool have to. Origi is like a plan B for Liverpool. If your plan A isn't working, Origi comes on. Liverpool can now offer a different way in which they attack the opposition when Origi is in the team. So for Sima, he doesn't fit the plan A. Firmino fits the plan A, but then it would be an interesting plan B, which is that if, like Atletico Madrid, you need a goal, you need a different way of attacking. He can provide something different.
He's a good target man too. Like you don't see many true number 9s in the game right now, but Osimhen is in that caliber. But as much as I hate Man United, he might be a good fit for them, especially with Agallo kind of paving the way for him. Because I think Agallo was the first Nigerian player to play for Man U. So now they'll think, okay, maybe there's some talent there, and go with I think Osimhen's only 20 right now, so he has a long way to go, and he should be good in the future for us.
Okay, LB, speak on it.
I think Haaland has been on another level this season, especially in the Champions League. I think he kicked 8 goals in the group stages, and look, I think if Osimhen was to improve, he would have to go to a bigger league, maybe the Premier League, and obviously a bigger club in Manchester United, whereas Haaland is obviously at Dortmund and is still, or both players are finding their feet, but I would say that Haaland is in more of a competitive league. So for Osimhen to improve, I think he'll have to leave the Uber Eats league.
Okay. San Maya.
Yeah, as of right now, I will pick Haaland because of his work rate and his eye for goal. And Haaland did score against PSG and Liverpool at 19, so Haaland.
All right. Stonge?
Yeah, Haaland. He's done it at the big stage. He's scored so many Champions League goals. Incredible player, incredible technique.
An incredible what? Are you trolling?
Yeah, okay, that was just a joke. But listen, with Haaland, his lowest ceiling is Lukaku. That's the lowest he can be. With this other guy, I mean, he's not even the top scorer in France. Haven't heard any big performance. I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, Haaland is linked to Real Madrid, and plus, I don't want this guy at my team, Liverpool. I know I criticize Firmino, but I think we should be going for quality players to replace Firmino. Not, I don't know, man. This guy, he needs to go to like a Man United first, and then and then go to Madrid or a big club afterwards. He needs to go to like the secondary clubs, like a Dortmund or United.
Okay. Let's take in this other queue right now. Let's just do a little swapperoonie. Okay. So just a question says, has Pogba really been poor at United, or is he just around a terrible team? He's been top in almost all stats 2 seasons before this one, and these stats are better than his stats at Juve. So let me just kick this off before I kick this to the chat. Pogba is a top tier player, and it's a quality player. He should never have left Juventus. This was always going to be a very difficult situation for a young developing player to go to, because United needed many serial players post Alex Ferguson. It is people want to get on Pogba, but look at the team he's played. Look at the team is playing for, the players that he's surrounded with, and how much he has to do and the responsibility that he has. So I do think that people, no, Pogba has been poor in games too. Let's be fair, he has been poor in games, but overall, I think it is more to do with the players around him and the terrible team around him and the amount of work he has to do, and him being played in a role that isn't his strongest role. He's not a central midfield controller. He's a box-to-box, free-roaming midfielder. So I think that's the thing. So Jamal, speak on it.
Yeah, I was about to say that same thing you said. The biggest problem with Pogba in Manchester United is to play him as a man in the middle of the midfield, like a Zidane S player, like to control our midfield. He's not a controller, he's a box to box. And that is the main problem why Pogba don't do good at Manchester United. Yeah, but you can't really say that is the only reason though. You have to look at yourself and all because he has been poor. He has been poor. But I feel the biggest reason why he's been poor is because they playing him out of position.
Okay. So do you personally rate Pogba now in 2020, or you don't rate him?
Now I rate Pogba highly. Put him in a Liverpool, treble. Put him in a Juventus, treble. It's just he need a great team build around him for him to ball.
Okay. Mr. Kelechi Sancho, speak on it.
Yeah, I believe Pogba is overrated, and he hasn't been relevant since his Juventus days, and we haven't really seen much. We haven't seen the best out of him at United, and we need to see more from him. To be honest.
Okay. Boxing
Hello,
guy.
hello, hello,
Yes,
hello.
yes, yes. We can hear you, Billy. We can hear you. We can hear you, bro. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Boxing guy.
Oh, sorry. I
Yes,
thought
I
you were
think.
asking.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can hear you.
Yes. Pogba is a world class player. We all know that. He's just being surrounded by low level players.
Damn.
That's why, yes, I said it, low level players. Sue me. That's why I think like people underestimate his ability and talent. When he was at Juventus, he was surrounded with world class midfielders like Andrea Pirlo and Arturo Vidal, and he was given the free role to roam in the midfield. But in United, they're playing him out of position. He's being told to control the game, and Pogba, that's not his best attribute, you know. He's not known for controlling games. He's known for being a box-to-box midfielder, popping in goals here and out. So yeah, but let's see how he'll play with Bruno Fernandes. I think the coming of Bruno Fernandes will show us that Pogba still got it. Yeah.
Okay. BD.
Yeah, Chicho, I think Pogba needs to move, yo. I'm sorry, man. Bro, Real Madrid is way bigger than Manchester. I don't care what anybody says. Like Real Madrid is just much bigger. Like it's now or never. Like this, he's in his prime, but he's wasting it, staying in Manchester United, and I think that's the problem. Um,
Okay. So you rate Pogba highly still, despite the criticism.
I rate him highly if he goes to Juve or Real Madrid. I don't rate him if he keeps staying in United because he's just wasting his prime. Like, bro, like you have to move. You understand what I'm saying? Like you have to move so that you can win the UCL. He's won a World Cup. He just needs to show me a UCL. That's it. And then I can consider him better than, I can put him in the top tier bracket, because I still think he's a world class player from winning the World Champions League finals in 15. He was so close. He I don't know. I think he just got beaten by the best. For me, I would say the best Barcelona side I've seen. I think they're better than Pep's Barca side from 2011, to be honest. Um But yeah, I think if he goes to Juve or Real Madrid, he has a really good opportunity of winning a CL because I just love Cristiano. I think Cristiano can make him become a better player. And two, I just feel like Real Madrid is in a state where they need some young, fresh legs in that midfield. Like that midfield is so old. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. Um. All right. Let's bring back. So, from Mr. Alex One, his question is: KDB recently said he would look over his future if City's ban goes through. So, obviously, if he was to leave, where do you think is his best destination? So, thinking about this now, I'm looking at how De Bruyne plays and the particular way in which he plays and his strength. I really believe De Bruyne would be literally perfect at Real Madrid. There is no other team that is tailor made for De Bruyne. De Bruyne, I say, is the probably one of the best players to have on a counter attack. And Real Madrid's issue is decision making in those key last third areas. So De Bruyne is a guy who can utilize and produce a pass, and he can take it upon himself to score. So if you put De Bruyne in there as the cam, as one of the midfielders, so let's say you have a Casemiro, a Valverde, and a De Bruyne, that's a very strong midfield. So Valverde and a Casemiro, they hold the base of the midfield, and you now allow De Bruyne to run forward in that attack. I just think that his decision making and what he can do on the ball, especially on the run, on the counter, which is how Real like to play because they're very direct. I think he would do wonders for Real Madrid if it was to go there. I think he would improve many teams and so forth. But I just think where you would see him at his best, based on the system that they play, I believe is Real Madrid. And that's three.
Any team De Bruyne goes to, he would improve. But like you said, Real Madrid would be a great fit for him. And I think Madrid getting De Bruyne would be better than them getting Pogba, actually, due to consistency of performance. But I don't see De Bruyne leaving Man City in the end, though. I think he's going to stay.
Okay. So you say that even if they get banned, you still think that he will remain loyal?
Yeah, I just see De Bruyne. I think his best situation in terms of output on the field for an individual would be staying at City. But if he wants to win, going to Madrid.
Okay. Salmaya.
Oh, can I just talk briefly about Pogba?
Oh, sure. Go for it, man.
I, I think Pogba made a really bad choice to just go back to Manchester United. Like Manchester United was in a downward spiral, and he chose to go back there when he was about to reach his prime. And now at the age of 27, I'm not even sure if he can even leave this summer. And even if he leaves Manchester United this summer, I'm not sure if Pogba will ever fulfill his true potential. As I think he might have reached his ceiling. Yeah.
Okay.
As for De Bruyne, I think his best destination would be Real Madrid, and like I think that's just a perfect fit with Cruz controlling the tempo, Valverde being the box-to-box midfielder, and then De Bruyne can just be the creative midfielder. Yeah, he can basically do the things he's doing at Man City in that system. So Real Madrid would be the best fit for him.
All right. Stodge.
Yeah, De Bruyne. I think De Bruyne, the best fit for De Bruyne would be Liverpool, because literally all they need is a creative player, and the way even his play style suits them. You know, he crosses a lot, all of that stuff, and I can guarantee at Liverpool he'll break the assist record. I mean, people talk about Real Madrid, but if you watch Real Madrid this season, their problem is not creating chances. Their problem is finishing. What's the point of creating chances for players that can't finish? I mean, that makes absolutely no sense. Whereas Liverpool, you go to a team that's only missing a creative mid, they have prolific scorers, and you feed them, do your job. Yeah, I think that's the perfect fit.
All right. LB.
HH, can I just briefly speak on Pogba first?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure. So I reckon the decision that Pogba made to leave Juventus was just as worse as Götz's decision to leave Dortmund in 13. Juventus had it all for him. Champions League finals, Serie A titles, and even if Pogba does leave and decide to go back to Juventus, the team has changed so much since 2015. There's no Piolo, no Tevez. 70-year-old Buffon doesn't play. Oh, he does play there, but he doesn't get a starting position anymore. So, look, there are other options for him, which I'm hoping he does look into, because he's such a great talent. And as we discussed a couple of weeks ago on Hangout, even though I did chose, I can't remember who we were discussing in the debate, Pogba or another player. I think it was the other player who I chose. Pogba is still a great talent. So I hope he does leave and choose another club, because it will be such a waste of talent if he stays at United. As for Kevin De Bruyne, if City do get the ban, I think he will move to Real Madrid, and that Madrid will be a perfect fit for him, because obviously he's got the connection of Hazard and Courtois there in the Belgian national side, and look, he'll just be a really good playmaker for Real Madrid. So I reckon if City do get the ban, he will leave and play for Real Madrid.
And how successful do you think he would be at Real Madrid if he was to go there?
I think he'll be very successful at Real Madrid. I reckon he can bring them back up there to contest for the UEFA Champions League again, because it appears as though they're sort of missing that one piece of the puzzle, and he might be that one piece that they need, Kevin De Bruyne. And as I said before, the connection that he has with Courtois and Hazard in the Belgian national side, that will work wonders in Real Madrid. So I reckon he'll do very well there individually and for the team as well.
All right. Stodge.
Yes. No, I've spoken.
So have you spoken on this on KDB?
Yeah. I said the perfect fit would be Liverpool.
Oh, so yeah, you didn't you? Joe, Dr. Joe.
Yeah, funny enough, Studge stole the words right out of my mouth. I was waiting to just blurt it out. Like, Liverpool is literally the perfect fit for De Bruyne. As was said, he would break the assist record. He was already on his way to do so at Manchester City this season. They would have the two best crosses in the world, in my opinion, on that right side, and it fits perfectly into their counter-attacking. You yourself said it yourself, HH. He is good at counter-attacks, and that is literally Liverpool's style of play. Feeding Salah, Mane, and whoever. Some other teams also come to mind. Dortmund, but I don't rate them because I already said it's quite easy. He has already proved that he can do it in the Bundesliga, but they can't afford what Man City would demand for. They would demand a king's ransom for De Bruyne, more so if it's going to come in a period where many people won't want to come to Man City, so they can't replace him, because if he will be leaving, that means the ban is in effect. One other team comes to mind, that's PSG. I can imagine they can afford what Man City demands. If they have KDB in that midfield, providing for the likes of Neymar, Di Maria, Mbappe, Icardi, and the likes, that will be the perfect fit. They already have a control in Verratti. They have a defensive midfielder that just broke through this season, and if they can sign KDB, they just need a sturdy centre back alongside Thiago Silva, and I believe they would definitely win the Champions League in that situation. But for those who said Real Madrid, I don't think, as was already said, their problem isn't creating chances, but more so Benzema plays the false nine. They have Vinicius on one flank and God knows who on the other flank. They have nobody up front. It's no use. So I don't really see him playing for Real Madrid. And if he's going to play as an attacking midfielder, that means you can't play Valverde because you need a creator beside De Bruyne, which is what Gundogan or Silva or even Bernardo, any of the Silvas do at Man City. Valverde plays something quite similar, carrying the ball and moving forward. Um, Similar playing style with what De Bruyne gives you. So it will just make them light at the back, which Real Madrid has always been fickle at the back. So I see him staying at Man City ultimately.
Okay, so let me just give a little little question thing before we write off here. So this is a if the Champions League was to continue. Okay, we don't know, but based on the teams that are now remaining, if the Champions League was to continue and you had to put your money on a team to win it, who would you put your money on? And for me, I would put my money on. So basically, all I need is just one team, and a brief reason why. I would put my money on Man City because their antithesis Liverpool were knocked out, and I feel like this was where Man City would put their focus into. I think this would have just been their year. So I think Man City for me would be the Champions League team to win. Stodge.
Yeah, I would say. Uh, no, I'm not going to say Man City. I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to put my money on Atlanta because I don't like the other team. So yeah,
What?
bro, you
Atalanta?
gotta live sometimes. You just gotta. I don't know. It's. You took my one. I was going to say City, so I'm just going to say Atlanta. Why not?
You know, you can just pick the same one as me, you know.
No. I want to go Atlanta just in case they win it. Then I look like a genius.
Okay, okay. Kelechi, who would you put your money on?
Personally, I say Bayern Munich because I really rate Robert Lewandowski, and they have a strong defense, a strong attack, and I just feel like in a two-legged tie, they'd beat Man City or any other team because they just have quality players and they got a good manager. So yeah, I go Bayern Munich.
All right. Um, Adach 3, who'd you go for?
I'd go with PSG because Neymar was every time they lost, I don't think he was healthy, or I think he was injured the other times when PSG got eliminated. So he was finally healthy, ready to go, and they beat Dortmund. So with him and Mbappe, why not?
So you really believe that PSG? So two things: you really believe that PSG would go the way, and you really believe that Neymar would be fit for the entirety of the campaign.
Well, if he's fit, I'd say they would win. I can't really say if he'd get injured, not again, but
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
BDCO, who would you put your money on to win the CL if it's continued?
Um, HH. This is a really tough one. Now, I'm gonna say this. I think it's gonna be a Bayern and Atletico final. I think it's gonna be a Bayern Atletico final.
Well, it's hard you can't say that because you don't know how the draws would work. What if Bayern draw at Atletico in the semis or in the quarters?
Oh yeah. No, I'm saying if, like, let's say they both drew like different teams, I
Okay.
can see Bayern and Atletico going to the finals.
Okay.
Real Madrid still two are in the second leg. Um, at the moment right now, I want to say Bayern and Atletico are for me favorites because I don't know. I don't see anyone. I mean, I don't know how Real Madrid and Man City's leg is gonna turn out for the second leg. And I don't know if they can turn it around. I hope they can, but I don't know if they can turn it. Barcelona and Napoli too is still open. I'm gonna say Bayern Atletico final, and I think I'm gonna go with Bayern. I think Bayern's gonna win the final against Atletico. I think so. Yeah, I'll take Bayern to win it. Yeah,
Okay.
against Atletico.
All
Yeah,
right.
can I go?
Yeah, okay, Jamal, go for it.
Yeah. I feel as the team will have the hex was gonna win. Yeah. PSG was gonna win this year Champions League. But again they have a hex on them, so that is why COVID-19 approached on us. So yeah, I feel it will be PSG.
So you still believe that even with a hex on them, PSG would still win?
No, the reason why I think COVID-19 come is because PSG will have win, just like Liverpool would have win the title. It just
Oh.
have some things in football what is it cannot happen. So yeah.
So who would you put your okay? So who would you put your money on then if the Champions League was to restart?
Yeah, if I'm being real now, I'll put Atletico because I'm a Liverpool fan and I see the way they dealt with us. And I feel, I don't know, this year I feel like nobody really taking on Atletico. And I feel Atletico will just keep going through under the radar and they might win.
Okay. Boxing guy. Boxing guy. Who would you put your money on for a Champions League? Okay. LB.
Look, if it wasn't for the fact that Ronaldo is still in the competition, because you correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Juventus didn't get knocked out, did they? They're still in it.
Yeah. They still had the second leg against Lyon. They were 1-0 down.
Yeah. If Ronaldo wasn't in it and Juventus weren't in it, then I would probably say Atletico, because obviously Atletico's nemesis has been Ronaldo over the last 4 or 5 seasons. But I would probably say Bayern Munich. I reckon they've done a really good job after the disaster campaign of last season in covering the likes of Robin, Ribéry, with Gnabry, and I don't personally rate Kingsley Coman. I mean, half the time he's injured. But Alphonso Davies, Lewandowski has continued to perform at the highest level and continue to lead the goal scoring charts in Europe. So it's really exciting for Bayern Munich because this new sort of breed of players has taken them, or winning position against Chelsea. We obviously don't know what's going to happen in that second leg, or if that second leg is going to even be played out or not. I reckon if I had some money, I'll put it on Bayern Munich.
Oh, okay. So you put your money on Bayern then? Okay. Mr. Sanmaya.
Yeah, I'm going with Bayern Munich. Like, if the Champions League returns, Lewandowski would have returned from his injury, and Thomas Muller, he's arguably in his best form of his life. He's playing his best football, and it's the old Thomas Muller. And Gnabry is showing potential of being the Robin Ribery successor. And the Kimmich and Thiago, this double pivot has been absolutely phenomenal. They've been dominating possession. Thiago has been absolutely brilliant as well. And most importantly, Manuel Neuer is back. Last year he had a bad year. This year he's shown like signs of the old Manuel Neuer. He has been saving our defense a lot, and we got the perfect manager in Hansi Flick. If Hansi Flick can sort out the high defensive line issue, I think this is Bayern's year. Yeah, I really do believe they've been playing absolutely brilliant this year, and I think I think they can win a season.
But what makes you have faith in Lewandowski after he has come up short in numerous CL semis? What gives you faith that he would not come up short this year? Because they need him.
Well, I think in the previous years he just hasn't been given enough service, and he's scored in almost every semifinals we've been in. And I know the Real Madrid one, I think it was 2 years ago, he didn't score, but that except for that year, he's shown up in almost every semifinal. And I think that year, Lewandowski, he was, I think his mind was just elsewhere. I think he was just focused. I heard like he was thinking of like moving to Real Madrid or other like teams. So his mind wasn't at Bayern. And you saw that in the World Cup. He really struggled in Poland. So yeah.
Okay, and Joe, man, ride us out, man.
Yeah. If the question is who would have won if it continued, obviously maybe Bayern Munich, their connections up front was gold, and Thiago has been in the form of his life. But Lewandowski is injured, and so if the competition does continue later on, who's to say he's going to hit the same form or hit the ground running? Nobody knows. I'd go for PSG if it does continue. The reason Man City will not win is because Sterling has been trashed this campaign, and he has been money for Man City over the past few years in the Champions League. And they need him if they are going to qualify, because Aguero has been a European flop all his career, and was the reason that Man City were eliminated last time. It wasn't Laporta, who's the only good defender at the back. It's because Aguero missed a penalty and did nothing in the second leg.
The ball bounced off of him, which negated Sterling.
Yeah, he's the reason. But I deviate. So PSG, because I believe even their style of play doesn't need a lot of chemistry. They don't show a lot of chemistry. Even this season, they haven't. They just know how to win because they have so much talent. So even when the season comes back, if they do continue, many teams like Bayern will need to come into form. Barcelona is a mess as usual. So yeah, but okay, yeah, I'll just say PSG.
Okay, so look, guys, that's it for us. But like, all I'll say is this: is that I think it's always good to be realistic when we're not thinking about when the football season will come through. I hope the Champions League comes back. I won't lie, I miss the flipping Champions League, and things were just getting really good. But we can't just jeopardize the lives and the safety of people just for the sake of football. But all we can do is just keep our fingers crossed, pretty much, and just hope that maybe somehow we can get the football back, guys. So, guys, thank you very much for everyone coming through. Stay safe, stay good, and I'll see you guys on Sunday for the Hangouts with the other dudes, man. Guys, peace out. Peace.
Thanks, AJ.
Become a Football Hut member and gain access to cool emojis on the live streams and get access to new YouTube content by clicking the join button here. And to view that new content, head over to the YouTube channel homepage and click on the community tab over here.